It did not take long for my lesson to spread across the whole of Valkenheim. But in the following winter, a lone raider rose among the clan known as the Warborn. That raider set out to reunite their people.
Sometimes, a Viking is born who carries the spark of gods. Raiders, we call them. It is a name that can summon armies. Ruthless, fearless, made for battle. The moment of a Viking's death is chosen by fate. So what use have they of armor? Or of beer?
A year since Apollyon came. Our people starved. And the worst of us fell on each other, like beasts. Growing fat on their own people's misery. Ragnar was one of those. Let's feast! And so, I came down from the mountains. I joined the Warborn. And then we did something about it. We had come to do something about our people's vermin problem. Let's burn that gate down!
Burn that gate down! The Vikings were long thought to be just a legend. A story we told ourselves. An ancient threat that once ruled the North. Then, centuries ago, they returned from across the sea.
That gate! Let's burn it! The food!
Told you.
Come! It's what we came for. Let's find the rest for our people. They had stolen their own people's food. We were there to take it back. Protect this! The food is life for our people. Guard it!
The raider was right. The food was here.
A vast forest once covered the valley of Valkenheim. We knights cleared that land before the Vikings returned. And when we did, we revealed the ancient ruins of the Warborn clans. Imagine our surprise.
Different raider. Might have been merciful. This is ours now! Guard this!
We will protect this.
In the wild, the strong feed on the weak. Yet, in our civilized world, it is the other way around. I will not allow that to continue. Even if their mastery of steel is not as complete as ours, they are nevertheless an endlessly inventive people. We underestimate their creativity at our peril. For a full year, the cranes and scaffolds and lumber mills of the Vikings stood silent. No time for building while contemplating my lesson. They had wolves to feed. The Vikings suffered in the year after we struck them. No seed grain, no summer harvest. No harvest, no food for the winter. So, like all the other clans, the Warborn were starving.
We will have enough! Ragnar has brought us bounty!
Will not go hungry.
I had come for more than food. I had come for Ragnar.
Vikings record the exploits of their greatest heroes in stone. The markers remind them of the debt of glory that must be paid to enter Valhalla. To die in battle is one thing. To die a legend is another.
What's going on out there? You. Face me! Ha! Come on in, then! This was what I had come for.
Warborn.
Get away.
Why won't you die? Burn in hell! I'll roast your bones!
What you've done is wrong. You feast while all around you people starve. You and your warriors will learn to live like the rest of us. Or you will become food for crows.
Child! Might as well ask me to pick up for me! We're Vikings.
So that's a no?
Valhalla.
You're in charge now. Join us.
We are with you.
They weren't much to look at, but they were a start.
The Warborn grew. Soon, much sooner than I anticipated, only 2 warlords remained in Valkenheim. The Raider, and a vicious killer named Civ. With many of the Warborn leaders held hostage, conflict was inevitable.
Civ's work.
That's just barbaric.
I've seen you take scalps.
It's different. We'll just wait for your signal then?
The Bearclaw clan crushed all resistance. They forced the other clans to serve them. Their warlord, Civ, was ruthless in her pursuit of power. I liked her. A millennium ago, Valkenheim was the site of a vast Nordic empire. The earth swallowed them whole. Now, in places, the rains slowly reveal that past. What else lurks beneath the soil, I wonder?
Warborn prisoners. I would free them.
The more glory a Viking earns, the greater their legend when they are gone. But unlike us, their gods require them to share that glory with the weakest among them. Through example, we knights accidentally taught the Vikings the art of siege warfare. I like to think that, in turn, they showed us how to live free.
Vikings in cages. Unacceptable.
The Vikings worship gods of wood, of storms, and of stone. The samurai gods are of fire, of wind, and of thought. The gods of the knights are iron, steel, and gold. But power, that we agree on.
Civ.
Raider!
We had a history.
I know it's you!
I guess that was the signal?
We build new structures on top of the sanctuaries left by our ancestors. But they never match the glory of our past. They were great. We have much to learn from them.
Now, the real fight will be done. numbers, but the Warborn had me. The old ways of blood stir our people. We were united once more. It was time to free the rest of the Warborn. Stygander.
What took you so long? Finding Vikings you hadn't pissed off. My thanks, warrior.
Don't disappoint me, Jarl.
Oh, I like you.
Now, it was time to take back our birthright.
The Vikings united. And so quickly. Now they turned their attention to us. I left some of my Blackstones in control of their shipyards at Valkenheim. Stygander, their new Jarl, set out to take them from us.
There are traditions among our people that run deep as stone. Our shields are as versatile as they are strong. Our swords are lethal, simple and ancient design. And a leader who does not lead the charge is no leader at all. We are called warlords, a name that is earned. We are the shield of our people. And we will not fall. We would need ships. And I had been out of action for long enough. Du ert død!
Odin's beard.
Invasor! Bellicum canite!
These Blackstones have done a poor job of fortifying our defenses. I needed to get that gate open, and fast. Du ert død!
Once the Blackstones were pushed out of Valkenheim, the Vikings would put their shipwrights and their lumber mills back to work. And then they would need a target.
Du er død!
The Vikings had built up their settlements and shipyards over decades, centuries. It took a little more than a year for it all to fall into disrepair.
We're pushing them back!
Du er død!
Viking clans do not truly join one another. Alliances are common, but are just as commonly broken. The Warborn clans is just a way of saying all the clans who cannot defeat the Warborn in combat. The runes of the Vikings and our own letters must have a common ancestor. The difference is that our letters can be drawn with a quill, whereas theirs require only a chisel.
No superas!
Kill them all! I should get to the ballista.
I almost pitied those knights.
Eos omnes!
Odin's beard. Þú ert dauður. Those Blackstones had quite a haul.
Where did these come from? Samurai ships, washing up all summer long. Full of this junk.
The samurai!
They're weak. We outnumber them 10 to 1.
And they've had a good year! We're gonna need a fleet. It was time for a raid.
Hoping for quick spoils and perhaps the glory of victory, the Vikings turned their attention on their neighbors across the sea. The samurai lands were guarded by an ancient sea fort, one that the Vikings believed to be poorly defended.
Apollyon's war had taken us to the edge of extinction. But that raid reminded us of who we are. We began with a fortress on the sea. But they knew we were coming.
Weapons! To the gates! I welcome you all!
The gates of that fortress hadn't worked for a century. All we had to do was get through them.
Everyone to the gates! Charge!
When those gates moved, the whole plan changed.
Get over here!
Arrive qui pita!
This is crazy.
Ropes! Grapples, here!
Go! Lead the climb!
Need to get up that wall! Need to open that gate.
Get those barricades up!
Y arriba, curipita! Where's the damn gate controls?
The war machines of the samurai often make ours look like toys. They learned much during their exodus, and from many different peoples. If they hadn't, they wouldn't be such a threat. The sea fort of the samurai guarded one of the very few places in the mire where a fleet could safely come to shore. And it was an ancient place.
That chain should do it.
to do now
Was push them back.
The samurai had no ancient ancestors in these lands. They came after the fall from another land far to the east. But they had been enthusiastic in their rebuilding.
The battle was won. Only their commander remained.
Beyond that fortress lay the mire. Acres of unforgiving swampland. And a natural defense for the samurai city beyond. That city was what the Vikings had come for. Before the waters receded, that entrance was a canal. Imagine. Ships sailing through into waters that are now only swamp. The world has changed. The fort's commander was Fujikyo, a samurai champion. His name had reached across the sea. Even the Vikings knew of his legend. There, the war-born raider would face him.
Samaka! 蛮族めが全てをぶち壊しよって、この城は落ちた。もはや兵もおらぬ。我が命もほどなく尽きよう。門を開いたのは貴様だ。その命であがらえ。
You're in my way!
Arrive, Curipita! Arrive, Curipita! Arrive, Curipita!
That day reminded our people what Viking fury could do. The Great Raid, they would call it. And it had begun.
The Valkyries, warriors who have made a deal with the gods. Each one can earn glory for our fallen dead. In time, they can win a place for the deserving. But they alone decide for whom they fight. Masters of the spear and shield, scouts, trackers, and perhaps your
the great city of the Emperor, the Vikings now faced the Mire. Here, brute force would not suffice. Skill and knowledge would be needed to cross safely. The war-born Valkyrie, Runa, was sent to find a way through.
The Mire. An apt name for a terrible place. I was sent to find a way through. Let's start by finding an outpost, or a camp, or something.
Taking the beach was one thing. Crossing the Mire was another. But there was no plunder to be gained along the shore. The wealth of the samurai lay beyond the swamp. The first scout group the Vikings sent out into the Mire never returned. Nor the second. Nor the third.
Whoever that warrior had alerted was probably who I wanted to talk to. They had one of our missing scouts captive.
There was activity by the docks to the north.
"500 years the samurai have been here. Long enough to call this place their home. Long enough for their work to fall into ruin. Still, we treat them like newcomers. Control and defense of the Mire is split among the many houses of the daimyo. Their defenses vary in quality, but none of their defenders lack in skill.
Skillfully done!
The Mire is a dreadful place for an army. It can swallow up an entire force without a trace. Its paths shift and change, but boats are no safer when your enemy has hidden catapults and fire. The Mire would claim many Viking lives if their scouts could not find a safe way through to the city. Or even if they could.
Maybe one of them would know how to get to the city.
So? What did they tell you?
I don't speak Japanese.
Well, now what? We need maps.
There's a monastery.
How do you know? Wait here. I'll get reinforcements. Wait for us here.
Finally. I guessed that what I needed would be near the top. Seemed reasonable.
Whoever the lone scout was who found that monastery must have wondered what a Blackstone Knight's body was doing there so far from home. They would find out soon enough. The daimyo in the mire claim to be at peace. But it is strange for a people who are at peace to fight so many battles with each other each year. To the samurai, taking someone prisoner dishonors them. But to a knight, it is an act of mercy. And to a Viking, it means they become your slave. How much of our hatred comes from this misunderstanding? He failed to escape their homeland during their exodus. I have not heard any tales that describe his fate. But I do know that the Emperor who rules their city now is false. 1,000 years ago, this place was underwater. A sea. Our people made cities on its shoreline. Now, it is a jungle, claimed by anyone who passes through it. I think I prefer it this way. Vikings came into the mire once before, decades ago. They came through the waterways with their ships. The sounding of the gongs filled the air. By nightfall, no Viking stood in samurai lands. It was a lesson they would not forget.
Archers! Stop her!
In hindsight, I should probably have waited for backup. Too many to fight. I needed to just run. I had what we needed. A way through the mire. The city would be out.
Koto, the Emperor's city. High on a stone cliff, defended by crumbling bridges and gates, and by a force that was far too small for such a vast place. The city was ripe for plunder.
3 days. We fought on that bridge. Behind that bridge lay a whole city full of plunder. And if we failed now, we would leave with nothing to show for it. One more push would do it.
on days of peace, the samurai bells fill the sky with song. After that day, the song of peace would not ring for a long, long time. The Vikings built flimsy war machines to break down rotten gates. That bridge was once unassailable. Now it was simply an open walkway. When my people see these statues, they often believe them to be gods or spirits, holy to the samurai. Why is it so hard for us to imagine that they're simply art? When the samurai came into these lands, new plants and animals came with them. They had brought them in caravans. They knew their home was failing. They sought to remake it here.
The gate was in sight.
Within that city, the false emperor ruled from his palace. All samurai swore allegiance to him and to his family. They believe they revere unity and honor. In fact, they are simply afraid to be free.
Arrive qui, Pita!
Drive them back!
This is no gate. It's more like a door. It's not a bad idea. You might live.
The All-Father's favor is a fickle thing. Impress him with your audacity, and he will see you through to victory. But let audacity grow into overconfidence, and he will deliver you to your enemies.
It was a great raid!
Valhalla, warrior.
Arrive, Curipita! Arrive, Curipita!
They're giving you room! We have them now! We're beating them!
Impressive. I will enjoy this.
Gli arrivi con i peta! No!
You are too powerful for my other war. Now I will be fast enough to deal with you.
Gli arrivi con i peta! Gli arrivi con i peta! Outstanding.
Gates open.
We had done it. Beyond those gates, riches, spoils, plunder. The great raid of the war-born clans would become legend.
If the commanders of the Iron Legions knew about that...
Now we can speak freely.
Well, that's a relief.
We're all your humble servants, Master.
So, what is the real plan?
War. Huh? The natural state of our species. Yet these monsters flee from it. They're cowards. We must be brave for them.
We cannot hope to trigger war everywhere.
We can. If we recruit our enemies to the cause,